Welcome to the Art Lady channel. Today we are going to be making clay owls, and we're going to be using pattern and texture in our clay owls. I'm going to do this fairly quickly. I'm going to give my kids the instruction sheets here so that they can remember all the steps. If you're doing it at home or on the internet or YouTube, what you can do is just pause the video as we go along. But I'm going to just show you the process, and sometimes it's just fun to watch somebody make it first and then you do it. But the instructions have explicit details on how to do and make everything. But the first step is we're going to take a cube of clay, and this is what I'm going to give my students today. Today I have third graders with me. You are what, 9 years old? 8? 8, some 8, some 9. A smorgasbord. So we're going to take our cube, and we're going to pull off some shapes. And we're going to need to pinch off 2 blueberry size blobs and also a blob that's the size of a pea. So basically, come on over, grab your clay, pinch a corner off that's approximately the size of a big, nice, juicy blueberry. These will become the eyeballs. Place them aside. Now, whenever we work with clay, you don't want to touch this and roll it all up and play with it first before you go and start doing your project. Because the more you touch the clay, the drier the clay will become. And dry clay is no good clay. Doesn't work. Look, here's some dry clay. I'm going to try and make it and move it, and it doesn't even work. So dry clay, no good. Next, pinch off another blueberry because I need 2 blueberries. And then assess it. If it's too big, just pull off and get rid of some of it. Okay, but always assess as you go along. The next thing, we need a little size pea. So the size of a pea, a vegetable pea. Let's see, is that going to work? Yeah, that's about a pea. A pea, look. It's about the width of a pea is about the width of your pinky fingernail. A blueberry, I do it by the thumb. A nice big juicy blueberry is at least your thumb, your thumbnail, your thumb space. Okay, it's bigger than your thumb actually, right there where it comes to the thumbnail. Some kids are doing this for their blueberries. Well, that's not a blueberry. Make it bigger. A nice big beautiful cultured blueberry. Then we're going to take, so look, now we have 3 pieces we pulled off. Now we're going to roll the leftover clay. All of this clay I'm going to roll together. I'm going to put the blobs aside, and I'm going to place it in the palm of my hand. Now, this concave dip in the side, in the middle of your hand, makes a perfect ball when I cup it. I place the ball in, or the square inside, and if it's real pointy square, just push down some of those points first before you start rolling it. That helps form your clay ball right in there. Just kind of pinch it down. I'm not smothering. When I place my hand on top, oops, let's go down a little lower so you can see. When I place my hand on top, then I'm going to go in a circular motion. Draw with the top of your hand. I'm going to keep it cupped slightly so that I get the curve of my hand in the clay. That helps form that circular ball. But I'm going to do it really, really, really fast. The fast motion of it helps form that ball. If I just go slow, it kind of just moves, the clay just moves around and doesn't form a very good circle. The faster, it works great. And quickly. I'm only going to let you do this for 10 seconds. If you play with it any longer, the clay's too dry and you won't be able to fold it. So let's count. Start 1, 2, 3, 4, and I do a quick 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Stop. I do a very quick count to 10. It's not 1, 2. It's quickly counting to 10. So, now look at my ball. Is it perfect? No. That's okay, because we're going to smush it anyways. You just want it somewhat rounded. I mean, if it's crazy out of shape, you might want to do a little pushing like this and make it better. Okay, if it's just really crazy out of shape. But I'm going to clear my mat here, and I'm going to now press. Make sure you're not pressing directly on the table, because our tables are a slick surface, smooth, and this clay will stick to the table and you won't be able to get it off. You have to do it on a paper towel, a piece of paper, a mat, a clay mat, or cardboard. I'm going to give you guys a piece of cardboard here to use. That's what we use in our class. Even a piece of wallpaper works great. Thick wallpaper. Now I'm going to press this to a clay slab. Put your palm of your hand. I like to use this part of my thumb right in here, this big muscle part. You can use this part, and I'm going to press down, and I'm going to press again, moving my hand around the clay so that I have equal thickness. I'm going to flip it over every few seconds or every few presses so it doesn't stick to the mat. Press, and you want to press it so that you have it as thick as a cookie and as big as a cookie. You don't want it to be really huge like a pancake and really skinny. Measure with your pinky. It should be about the thickness of the tip of your pinky here. Not up here near the knuckle, but it should be about the thickness of the tip of your pinky. If it's too fat, just give a little push, some more pushes, okay? Especially in the center. Check your center. Your center shouldn't come up. It should be the equal thickness. If you hold it like this, you'll be able to see. See? That's a, yeah. It's just about the thickness of your pinky finger, the tip of it. See that? Okay, now what you're going to do is you're going to fold over both edges. Kind of like a hot dog bun. You know how it has those kind of edges that come up, or a taco? It's going to be kind of like looking like a taco here. I'm going to put my hand in here, my finger, on this edge. And look, it's about a finger space from the edge. So 2 fingers. See? Remove this finger. This is going to start folding over. Now I'm going to take this finger away and fold it down. I'm going to do the same. Here's my finger here. Fingers from the edge. Finger in the middle. And just push this up. Push up, push up. It's kind of forming almost like it's a hot dog bun or a taco. And then push it down. Right down. Nice and smooth. Right down. There's the owl wings. Now I'm going to take those 2 blobs that were the size of big blueberries, and I'm going to do not a 10-second roll. This is a small volume of clay. If I do 10 seconds, it's going to dry it all out. Only about a 3 to 5 second roll. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? There. Squish it if it's a little lopsided. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. That one's pretty good. Now, I'm going to take the next one, this little tiny pea. What do we call that? A pea, right? I'm going to just use 2 fingers because it's so small. And I'm just going to do about a 2, 1, 2, 3, 3 is about it. 3-second roll. There you go. Now, I'm going to place that down. If I continue, this will dry out. And I'm going to make a coil or a barrel out of this. So I'm leaving this on the table, and I'm just going to bring my finger up, bring my finger down, and put a little pressure on that. Bring my finger up, bring my finger down. It makes a fat little barrel. Look at that. I'll show you that. See that? I'm not making it a real skinny snake. Then I'm going to take my finger. Now watch carefully. I'm just going to put my finger halfway on it. It's curving down. And I'm going to roll just the tip back and forth. So it's pointy. And that's forming what? The cone. It's forming a cone. And that will become the beak. Now I take my finger. Let's go this way. I can't reach around there. Put my finger at the top. This is in line with the top. I place the beak right there. I take my 2 blueberries right there. I give a little press and a little press. Now today we're working with really wet clay. So I'm not slipping and scoring like we normally would do with clay when we add. This is very wet. By pressing in, this should bond it enough. Oops, I just moved him over a little bit. And then we're going to be incising and pressing in texture designs. So by pressing in, it's going to blend the top clay to the base clay. Because whenever you add another piece of clay, you always want to make sure it's joined properly. You could join it on the edges in here, but all you need for this project is really to take your center and press in deep enough so that it forces the top clay into the second clay, into the base clay. So I'm giving a little wiggle, and I'm using just a wood tool. You can also use a pencil for this project. Also, caps work great. You can also press this in after you've done the middle for pattern. Even this end, well, this is smooth and slick, but some markers have really cool patterns. It almost gives a floral design. So whatever you want to press in for your patterns for your eyes, you can. In this, what we did was we did the back end of a pencil, and then I just pressed in, I drew lines for the eyeballs. However you want to decorate this. I had one kid make some flower pattern around the eyes. So however you want to do your eyes, you just want to remember that whatever you do on one side, you keep it symmetrical. The same on the other side. Once you've done your eyes, then you're going to draw with the end of either the pencil or the wood stick the wing 1, 2, 3, 4. If you have room for 5, you can stick 5 in. The wing feathers. And these are the flight feathers. They're pretty long. Then I'm just going to smooth this out right here. And then I'm going to draw in with the tip. If you have crumbs, press the crumbs down. Draw with the tip, press. I'm just pressing the tip in so that I have neat rows of feathers on the front of the owl. And this will give some really cool texture. It'll look there, look like nice bumps. And then, of course, any other little creative tip to make it your art project, you can add. Now for the ears, if you look here, this folds. Where you see the fold, I just pinch. So I take 2 fingers and I'm pressing, do a light pinch. You don't want these ears to be really skinny. Some kids get it too skinny. And I'm going to do the same here. I'm just pinch the corner slightly. And that gives a nice little dip on the head. If you don't want to pinch in those little ear feathers up top, you don't have to. That's up to you. And then what I do with my students is they bring their project to me. They tell me the first letter of their first name, and I scratch it in on the back, and then they tell me the table they sit at, and that's how I identify their projects. And then I place about 1/4 to 1/2 inch. I place a hanging hole for them, and then smooth out the back hanging hole. So we can use these to either hang on a wall or to hang up with a string. And there we have our simple clay owl with pattern and texture. If you'd like my worksheets, there's a link to my worksheets at the bottom of this video.